Hello there, and welcome to a very special episode of Electric Sheep. After a couple losses of subscribers, we've had some additions, so we're finally in the positive again. So, this is our 179th subscriber special. So, without any further delay, here is a story that was um, rewritten three times by myself because I couldn't get. I was having technical difficulties with offline AI, and so forget the offline AI. We just took a screenshot of the prompt, and Chat GPT can work with a screenshot of a prompt just as well as a prompt, and cleaned up the story and added a few little details. So without any further delay, this is Visions of Lordus.
Visions of Lordus. A Freedom Lord has arrived at asteroid station Alpha 12. His name is Lordus. Freedom Lords are a culture that grew strong after being lost in deep space for generations without gravity generators. Like all Freedom Lords, the young Lordus exercises in zero gravity to stop the decay of his bones in space. And like all Freedom Lords, he appreciates the gravity of a station so much that he donates 5,000 credits upon arrival. Most Freedom Lords leave offerings as thanks for the gravity they lack in their regular lives. Though they are generous, do not think them humble. Lordus stuck a cigar in his mouth after paying his donation to the attendee. The attendee warned Lordus that there is no smoking in the station, but Lordus seemed to ignore the statement as he used his laser pinky ring to light the cigar. The smoke curled upward, then drifted lazily toward the ventilation intake, distorted slightly by the artificial gravity field. As Lordus approached a supply vendor, three security guards moved toward him. They drew their weapons because they detected his weapon. A security field attempted to restrain Lordus, but his jacket dispersed the field automatically. The fabric shimmered for a fraction of a second as embedded counterfield emitters neutralized the station's restraint grid. When Lordus saw weapons pointing at him, he drew his own. He fired 3 shots. His solid projectiles obliterated the 3 guards despite their energy shields. The rounds punched through the glowing barriers as if they were mist, kinetic force overwhelming coherent light. The sound was deafening in the enclosed corridor, 3 thunderclaps that echoed against alloy walls. The guards fell, smoke lingered, and then attention. This has been a simulation for security training, created as a warning as to why we do not penalize Freedom Lords for minor offenses. They will protect this station if asked. They are unparalleled in combat and respect only their own authority. The fallen guards dissolved into grids of light. The corridor flickered. The smoke froze mid-air and then reversed into the cigar. The bullet holes sealed. The security field reassembled. Lordus stood alone in a clean hallway. A final message scrolled across the station's internal display. This simulation was created with the participation of the Freedom Lord known as Lordus. Lordus removed the cigar from his mouth. It had never truly been lit. He exhaled anyway. Gravity pressed gently against his bones. An indulgence, a luxury, a reminder of what his people did not have. For a brief moment he closed his eyes and simply stood there, feeling the weight. Then he turned toward the supply vendor. This time no one stopped him. This concludes Visions of Lordus.
Alrighty. Um, I really liked how this turned out. Uh, I like the way it all kind of dissolves into simulation at the end. That was how I wrote it, that there was an announcement that it was a simulation, but the way it, uh, the details like dissolve back and the smoke like goes back into the cigar and stuff like those were all details added by Chat GPT, and I really appreciate those details. But it does make me kind of question how the whole simulation was done exactly, if he just kind of on the fly um, was offered the option to do the simulation, and since he's already so grateful for the gravity and all that, he's all the more willing to offer that. Maybe in the simulation he offered the 5,000 credits, but maybe in reality the simulation itself was his offering, and maybe he got around offering the 5,000 credits. Who knows? Who knows? But I didn't really want him, Lordus, to come across as like a bad guy or a tyrant necessarily, but that's a reasonable interpretation of the way he enforces his own safety by the barrel of a gun. But I wanted it more to be an example of cultural diversion. I think it's very comparable to how Canadians and Americans, or Canadians and British people, or Americans and British people all have very different attitudes on guns. Americans have a Second Amendment that protects their right to have a gun, and people will carry guns in public and things like that, where a lot of people see that in other countries as something to be alarmed about. And I think different countries have different um, opinions on smoking and how hazardous that is, because a lot of places have a lot stricter smoking laws than they used to. But this is just kind of the idea of an indomitable race of people that kind of just play by their own rules, and they're not necessarily evil, but they will not be told what to do, basically. And that might make them seem like assholes. Hell, that might make them qualify as assholes. Let me know what you think. Is this guy a dick, or is this guy just a person of a different culture? And it's hard to comprehend how his culture functions just based on this one person and the little bit of backstory we have. But I like the way this short story turned out. I like short and simple. My name is Captain Canada. Uh, you can call me Captain Canada or Joseph Arthur Roszell if you prefer. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all the luck in the world. I want you to know that I love you. And know that suicide is never, ever the answer. Peace out for now.